We are members of the Monessen High School Youth Council, and we began our project with a simple but extremely important concept: help the youth. It's our goal to encourage our community leaders to see the need to restore after-school and summer youth programs in Monessen. We believe that building a strong community involves supporting our youth by restoring youth programs. In the past, during the 1970s and the 80s, there were meaningful youth programs which were led by caring community leaders such as Mr. Fred Feldman. Currently, there are very few positive after-school activities offered here. We believe that Monessen can become a better town in the future by investing now to help our youth. This was our official kickoff for this incredible project. With the support of 4-H through the Penn State Cooperative Service, we are ready to begin our research into the evolution of programming for the youth of Monessen.
We began a Smithsonian project at the Penn State Cooperative Extension with the support of the 4-H leaders. Through interactive sessions, the staff helped us to explore what issues were most important to us. Together, we determined what our research focus would be for this project. This would involve looking back on history of youth programming in Monessen, where it is now and where it will be in the future.
We began our research for this project by visiting the Monessen Heritage Museum and were given a tour by Monessen Councilwoman Cosner. Here we're standing in front of a colorful mural that represents the successful steel industry of Old Monessen, a most important aspect of Monessen history.
Behind these glass doors are displays of outstanding Monessen individuals who have given back to Monessen. They include former Monessen graduates who became educators, doctors, authors, and successful business owners.
Our Youth Council Stories for History interview team worked together to plan and prepare to interview Mr. Marino and Miss Loren, Vivio. They are both retired now from working with students in Monessen School District, and they also have much to share about their memories and experiences in community work in the 1970s and 80s with Mr. Fred Feldman in the Monessen Recreation Program.
Welcome, Mr. Marino and Mrs. Vivio. Thank you for helping us with our Stories for History video today.
We have some questions about your work with Mr. Fred Feldman in Monessen years ago.
Was he an important influence on your life or career?
I would say yes, because Mr. Feldman was known for giving back to the community, not just as a teacher, but also as a summer programming person.
Yes, Mr. Feldman definitely had a positive effect on the kids in Monessen. He taught here for years and years. As a matter of fact, I'm talking, Mr. Feldman was a teacher of mine in the 1960s, so that's been a while ago. And even on occasion, when I run into somebody a little bit older, we talk about Mr. Feldman.
Okay.
Definite impact.
So, what specific opportunities did he provide for Monessen youth?
Mr. Feldman, again, it was a teacher, a physical education and health teacher, but he also ran the summer recreation program. You younger folks don't realize how old Monessen was. We had 6 or 7 elementary schools, and every elementary school had a playground, and Mr. Feldman was in charge of the playgrounds in the summer. And they employed high school students to work on the playgrounds.
Okay.
One of the high school students was me. I think I got paid 50 cents an hour to oversee activities like jacks and marbles and hopscotch. And he also had something called All Wheels Day, where people decorated their bicycles, and he had a parade, a big parade for Monessen that brought out many people. And he was actually the recreation director for 25 years in Monessen.
How would you describe the impact of his actions?
Well, again, the impact you can measure in years, because again, when I run into someone older and we start to talk about older teachers, Mr. Feldman's name is one of the first ones that come up. And again, it is positive. Some of his sayings, because they are truly relevant in today's world.
Also, he had a military background, so when you took phys ed from him, he would line you up like soldiers, and he had a whistle, and when he said get in line, we got in line. And I look back now and think it seemed so crazy then. We laughed about it, but now I understand why it was important to follow rules.
All right. Would you say Monessen needs more community leaders like Mr. Feldman?
Oh, absolutely. Yep. There's no doubt. We need all the community spirit and help that we can get today. I think because of all the social media, I think we need a lot more of that face-to-face, and he was definitely a face-to-face person.
An interesting thing about him is that he didn't have any children of his own, but he took on all the kids here. And we definitely need people who are committed in that way, who will commit their time and their energy, and he always did. Very committed to Monessen Youth.
Thanks so much for interviewing with us today. We really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks.
Thank you.
Our research took us to one of the main centers in town that has often been dedicated to youth outreach programming, the Monessen Civic Center. This was the perfect setting to interview Mr. Sheldon Davis, a former youth council member and now a football and basketball coach at Monessen. Since the Civic Center is owned by the City of Monessen, it was also important to learn the views on the future of youth programs from City Councilwoman Miss Karen Cosner.
Hello, Coach Davis. We're very grateful that you're meeting with us for a Stories for History interview today. We like to hear about some of your thoughts growing up as a teen in Monessen.
Growing up as a teen in Monessen, often had some great memories as a teen in Monessen. There was a lot for the youth to do. And just the thing that's missing in today's society was there was a lot more kids, so every street was filled with kids and every street was filled with playing kickball, hide and seek, and all the good things and having fun as a kid.
So what year did you attend Monessen High School?
I graduated in 2005.
What kind of youth programs were you offered in Monessen whenever you were a teen?
The Private Industry Council, they offered us summer jobs when I was young, which I was probably employed with them from the time I was 16 till I was 21 every summer. So that was a great program to have. We also had free breakfast and lunch, which was probably in 5 different locations: Highland Manor, Newness of Life, the Civic Center, Park Manor, and the Orchard Church. The Orchard Church actually used to have a program every summer where other churches would come down and they would do community work around the summer all year long. And they would have a bunch of programs for the community to go help as well. And I was also involved in Communities That Care as well.
So how would you compare community support for Monessen for Monessen Youth programs since then?
The lack of adult supervision and people wanting to volunteer. I just felt like when I was younger, there was a lot more resources and people that would help versus today where adults tend to shy away from helping kids out.
What are some ways that you were involved with Monessen programs now?
I'm the president of the Youth Football and Cheer Organization. I coach high school football and basketball.
And exactly why is that important to you?
Just to give back to the youth, to make sure they could go down the straight and narrow path. Always giving an outlet for kids to do the right thing and stay clear of the negative things, and just to keep them on a great path.
What would you say needs to happen in Monessen to increase youth programming?
We would need more people to step up and volunteer and help.
Are you hopeful about new opportunities in Monessen Youth?
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for interviewing with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you for meeting with us, Ms. Cosner. As a City Councilwoman, what are your thoughts on the need to restore youth programs in Monessen?
Well, my thoughts are, I think that you as a youth are our future leaders of Monessen and of our country, and it's really important that you get experience now in leadership programs and getting a variety of experience in the programs that whatever they may be that's going to carry through into your adult life.
How do you think our Stories for History project could make a positive difference for the future of youth programs here?
I think sometimes when we get older, we forget how important it is when you're young to have a wide variety of experiences. I think this program maybe really hit home with a lot of people that have forgotten what it was like to be a kid and how important it was that there are things for our youth to do in Monessen, because they are our future.
In what ways could you support our project with other council members?
Well, first of all, I'd love for you to come and make a presentation to the council, for them to actually see what you've done and what a good experience it has been. And I think if they would see this, then they would say, yeah, this is something we can support. And when grants become available in the city, that they'll write into the grant programming for students and youth, because it is important. I think the only way they're going to do that is if you young people convince them that you're important enough and they have to do it.
Thank you for interviewing with us today. We really appreciate it.
Hey, and thanks for having me.
When you walk down Donner Avenue in Monessen, you will come upon a small side street near the Monessen Civic Center named Fred Feldman Way. Mr. Feldman was a Monessen school teacher and director of Monessen Recreation Program over 40 years ago. A famous quote of Mr. Feldman was, "Giving back to your community is essential for every human being." Those grainy old photos show a variety of programs available to youth through the Monessen Recreation Department led by Mr. Frederick Feldman. The activities include an annual pet parade including birds, the all-wheel bike decoration parade, as well as tennis lessons and baton twirling lessons. The Smithsonian project was both educational and inspirational. It was interesting for us to take a look at our city of Monessen from the past to the present. We were introduced to individuals who contributed so much to the youth programming and education. We also were given the opportunity to interact with people who are presently doing their best to offer activities that keep Monessen youth on the right path. Finally, we connected to a Monessen City Councilwoman who is willing to support grant funding to restore community programs. It's been very meaningful to explore the past, present, and hopeful future on this important issue.